am so delighted to be able to share this opportunity. My name is Tamika McRae, and I'm anointed to serve and bless others. I am just so honored to be able to share my story today. Um, Many of you all may wonder who is this lady, and I want to come and share my story. It's so much more than what you all see. I am an entrepreneur. I wear many hats, and I'm so grateful for the duties and everything. I'm a wife and mother, and um, I'm in ministry and has several businesses, started a nonprofit organization. But today, I want to come and talk about my wellness journey. You all see me, you may think, she's just trying to sell some laundry detergent and some cleaning supplies. I don't sell those items. I just purchase those items from the Wellness Club, but I do not sell them, so I'm not trying to sell you no laundry detergent or any of that. I'm just coming to share of my wellness journey. And I want to talk about living life and thinking that everything is well, but living life and living with high blood pressure. Several years ago, I actually um, remember being diagnosed with high blood pressure. Several years ago, I actually went, my foot was hurting me so bad. I have flat feet and my arch had failed. So I went to the doctor to see about my foot. And he took my pressure and he said, your blood pressure is high. I didn't pay attention to it because my foot was hurting and I wasn't there for my blood pressure. And he wasn't, he was just a foot doctor. But they did help me. But life went on. I didn't focus on it like that too much. And then I would go on. I went on and I remember going to the doctor and my pressure was high then, and that time the doctor put me on high blood pressure medicine. But that was so long ago, and I felt better. And I would go to work and I would check my numbers because at the time where I worked at, we had a clinic there that we can go, and I used to get my blood pressure checked, and I felt fine. High blood pressure is one of those, like they say, silent killers. You don't know that you have high blood pressure until you check it. It's one of those things that you just don't know. And so life went on. I wasn't taking my medicine and none of that. I remember going to have a Pap smear done and my blood pressure was high. But still, hey, no big deal. It's not hurting me. I'm fine. I love the Lord. I'm good. But then let's go to 2022 around September. I remember I was having some chest discomfort and I'm like, okay, something don't feel right. So I went to the emergency room and they checked everything, wanted to make sure, everything was good. I wasn't having a heart attack or whatnot. But one of the things, my blood pressure was high. They really didn't focus on that too much, but thankfully nothing else was going on. I didn't have a heart attack, or none of that stuff. But I believe the Lord had that chest discomfort to happen to get my attention to say, you know what? You've been annoying this high blood pressure thing. And you've been getting away from taking your medicine and all of that. But you need to take your health serious. And so at that point, I left the emergency room. They did prescribe me some medication. They prescribed me with amlodipine. Low dose, and I needed to follow up with my primary care doctor. However, I was already wanted to find me a new doctor. So I didn't want to go back to my doctor that I had years ago. It was a male doctor, when I was younger. But here I am, I want to establish a good relationship with my doctor as I'm, getting older. And so I was not going to be able to see my doctor, the new doctor. I was getting a new doctor until December. Here it is September when this happened to me from the ER, and I needed to follow up because, hey, I need to get this blood pressure under control. And they told me that I didn't have an appointment until December. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do? I do not want to go back to that doctor, but I know I need to go. They offered me the opportunity and said, well, we do have Duke doctors at a place called Lincoln. Now, in my mind, I felt like Lincoln was not for me because I'm like, that is a place where most people go that do not have insurance. I have good insurance. I didn't want to go to Lincoln. But I tell you what, I put my health first. I put aside my pride. And I pridefully went to Lincoln. I still paid a copay and everything. And Lincoln had Duke doctors. So I was able to go and get my blood pressure checked. I even got me a free blood pressure monitor. So, I went in not really wanting to go, but I went and I came out with some goodies. Okay, now here is the, you remember when I was telling you about Lincoln? That, I'm like, no, I got insurance. I don't need to go to that place. I got insurance. I had to let go of my pride, but this is the blood pressure readings. And I'm just so grateful for that bridge of time that I had. So they did changed up my medication, put me on another medication. I think they took me off one and put me on another because it wasn't working. Then when I went to my doctor in December, Dr. Lauren Scott with Duke, she's amazing. My blood pressure was still high. So at that time, we had to make some changes, add some things, tweak a little bit because also my potassium was low. So all of it plays hand in hand, and we had to change up the medication because although I was on several medications, it was not helping my blood pressure. But we were able to get my blood pressure at a good rate from just making the changes, and also to level out my potassium and so forth. And so at that time when I went to the emergency, I need to back up. When I went to the emergency room, my blood pressure, I remember speaking with the nurse, and the nurse stated, your blood pressure is dangerously high. And at one point she stated that it was 200 over something. Now I know that it was 190 something, but I don't know. She said it was 200 over something, and she said, that's dangerous. You could have had a stroke. So I thank God for the chest pains. I thank God for that. So going back now, I'd have met my doctor. We'd have made some changes. And she did let me know that losing weight would definitely improve my blood pressure. At this time, when I go to see her, I'm like 190 something. Might have been even 197. I don't know. I know I was in 190 something. So I went to go see her in December of 2022. And then she wanted to prescribe me with some weight loss medication for me to take some pills. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I want to lose the weight on my own. And that's what I wanted to do. So with me going to my follow-up appointments and so forth, we again was able to get my blood pressure at a good rate. So then life goes on, and again, our daughter was getting ready to go to college, and I'm like, okay, Lord, now what is it that you want me to do? I've done all these things, ran a call center business, was in another business for 13 years that I love dearly.